a new venture. I'm Jesse Knight, and I am starting the Adhumanem channel to focus on migration issues, on history and culture of the areas that I'll be going to, on lots of topical news stuff, but I wanted to give some rationale behind what I'm planning on doing, what my focus is going to be, the angles that I want to approach this from. And I figured a walking, hiking video might be the best way to do that. So I'm here in the South Mountain Preserve in Phoenix. It's kind of a park within the city, and making my way along the trail that you get to as you drive all the way up top to where all of the cell phone towers are at. It's pretty up here. Kind of give you guys all a panorama. It's Sunday night. We have everybody ending off their weekend by getting a little bit of fresh air. This is going to be the format that I use for most of my interviews. It'll be a handheld action cam like this. You'll see I'm mic'd up, and hopefully my guests generally will be as well, my interviewees. But in general, for the channel, my hope is to, first of all, be focusing here in the US-Mexico border region. It's highly topical. We're in election year. It's 2024, mid-April, and we have an presidential election this year where migration and United States-Mexican issues are probably one of the big 2 or 3 major topics in the news, especially migration, with some amount of stuff with cartel, with drugs mixed in. One of the things that I've noticed is that the traditional media will generally come in, they'll do a 1 or 2 or 5 minute spot. Generally they'll try and figure out some way to get some migrants in the background so they get it nice and eerie feeling, and then they work on getting everybody's blood up. My goal is not to do that. I am specifically approaching this nonpartisan. I'm here to tell the truth as I see it and do it in long form so that you all can see what I'm seeing. I'm going to do minimal editing. So you're going to see the long form of my interviews. I'm not going to censor people unless they're saying really crazy stuff, in which case I may not leave that in. But but generally speaking, I want to let people talk. This is a people-focused channel, an issues-focused channel, and not a politics-focused channel. What I hope to become is, or at least help to contribute to the conversation, is a big dose of truth. I'm going to be spending more time in the border regions than you'll typically see in a lot of these news spots. Some YouTubers will do bigger, fuller episodes on certain aspects of the border. This is going to be my bag for the next number of months. I'm going to be traversing the US-Mexico border from Pacific to Gulf of Mexico, down into Mexico, up into the US, finding people to interview who have interesting perspectives and things to say, and throwing that up on YouTube for you guys to check out. I have kind of collected up the gear to be able to do this. So I've got a drone that I'll introduce here. I'll actually probably put a little bit of follow footage of the drone following my car on this while I do some of this voiceover. But yeah, I think there's a space here where we need more views and we need deeper dives into the locations, into the issues, especially inside of Mexico. That's one thing that I've noticed that we're just not getting a lot of in the, at least English-speaking media, is what is happening in Mexico and how is that affecting what our public policy is, how people view the border. Is it really dangerous? What's going on with the migration and the cartels? How are the migrants making their way across the border? What kind of shape are they in? What kind of stories do they have to tell? Additionally, there's the cartel angle, because the cartels have now moved into a position where they are largely controlling and guiding the flows of migrants to the border. For good or ill, I want to dig into what that looks like, how operationally it's working. But even more than that, I want to tell the stories of people from the border and not just one-offs. My goal is to, as I traverse back and forth, to go back to people that we've met in the past, re-interview them. What's happened in the previous month or two since the last time we talked to them? Has there been anything notable that's been going on? Have they noticed changes in anything? I think it'll be interesting and informative. And of course, I'll always be looking for new voices to add to the fray. I'm going to be doing somewhat dangerous reporting. I know that the region I'm headed into has a reputation for being a journalist killer. At the same time, this is where the news is at, and I want to delve further and find the truth of what's happening. And so I want to take you all along for the ride, and hopefully we'll have some fun. This is going to be an adventure. So I'll keep doing updates, but my focus is not to do what the traditional media has done with just small, light little taps into subjects. This is going to be a longer form, again, people-focused, culture-focused, and the subjects of my interviews, of course, they're going to touch on things like migration, on cartel activity, but also, what's it like to live in a particular town? What are some of the local issues? What are some of the environmental effects of some of what we're going to be looking at? Of course, the wall is a big one. So yeah, I'm very excited for this and very happy to have you all along for the ride.